Have you ever wondered about the impact of how you react when someone disrespects you publicly? It's not just uncomfortable. If poorly managed, such a situation can leave a lasting mark on your image. Think of that unpleasant joke that makes you feel small, the provocation that pushes your buttons, or the comment that puts you down in front of others. These moments can catch us off guard, but they also hide a unique opportunity, the chance to earn respect from those around you, even those who often try to diminish others. There's a somewhat uncomfortable truth here: if you don't know how to stand up for yourself, this lack of respect is likely to grow. Fortunately, there are techniques that, when applied smartly, can change the game. Who hasn't felt undervalued in the face of unexpected provocation? But what if you could flip the script, earn instant respect, and show that you're not easily shaken? Yes, it's possible, and you don't need to be the most extroverted person to achieve this. Get ready, because throughout this guide, we'll uncover psychological strategies that really make a difference. These are practical, subtle techniques that anyone can adopt. Can you imagine having control over the situation and even making the other person reconsider their actions? This journey will teach you exactly how to command respect, no matter the environment or who's around. When someone tries to put you down in public, your first reaction may be discomfort, but remember, this is more common than it seems. This is the moment when you can turn things around and establish a firm stance. Imagine that, instead of bowing your head when faced with a snide comment, you respond with calm and confidence. Turning what was an attempt to weaken you into an opportunity to show composure can make all the difference. Your calm posture alone sends the message that you're not easily rattled. To inspire respect, your initial stance plays a major role. From the first moment, it's essential to show that you understand your worth and won't accept just any kind of treatment. A simple strategy, like maintaining steady eye contact and avoiding nervous gestures, speaks volumes. Imagine meeting someone who remains calm and unshaken even when facing disrespectful comments. It's a powerful image, isn't it? This kind of posture inspires respect naturally, without much effort. Additionally, when you remain steady in such situations, you immediately distinguish yourself from those who react impulsively. This calm confidence makes you a role model for handling uncomfortable moments. Over time, this firm posture becomes second nature, and those around you begin to realize that messing with you isn't a wise choice. This is only the beginning. There are other attitudes that will complement this strategy and make it even more effective. Often, disrespect isn't personal, it's a way for some people to stand out at others' expense. In social circles or at work, there's always someone trying to elevate themselves by putting others down. This behavior is a form of self-promotion, and understanding this dynamic is crucial to avoid reacting impulsively and reinforcing this person's tactic. Realizing that disrespect can stem from opportunism is an important insight. When you respond calmly, without showing that the other person has affected you, you take away their power over the situation. For instance, if a colleague makes a disparaging comment about you, responding with control and unaffectedness shows that you recognize the game but refuse to play. This quiet response speaks louder than any direct confrontation. This approach also teaches others that you are not easily manipulated. By not allowing yourself to be destabilized by provocations, you set a boundary that others will see as respect. Over time, this attitude becomes a natural shield against disrespect, changing how others interact with you. And with this reinforced self-respect, you create a barrier that discourages future attempts to undermine you. Building self-respect from the beginning is key to shaping how others view you. Before expecting respect from others, it's essential that you value your own dignity. When someone can confidently communicate their worth, others pick up on that strength. For example, if you consistently avoid situations where you aren't appreciated, it sends a clear message: your presence has value, and you're not someone who accepts anything less. This self-respect is built through small, intentional actions. Imagine arriving at a meeting, and instead of waiting to be noticed, you introduce yourself confidently, make eye contact, and convey that you know your worth. These behaviors, though subtle, send a powerful message: you know who you are and what you deserve. This kind of presence spreads throughout the environment and sets the tone for how others will respect you. Furthermore, by steering clear of submissive behaviors, you reinforce an image of someone who isn't there to be undervalued. Self-respect is the foundation that encourages others to do the same. Gradually, this level of security creates a natural shield against people who might try to belittle you. And this personal security becomes invaluable when respect is put to the test, especially in challenging work or social environments. When you encounter someone who tries to use you to make themselves look better, remember, respect isn't something you force, it's something you earn. In these situations, the key is knowing how to set boundaries in a calm yet firm way. Imagine you're in a conversation, and someone continually interrupts or downplays your ideas. Instead of reacting immediately, try pausing and remaining calm. This deliberate silence shows that you won't tolerate being trampled over. Actions like these demonstrate that you're in control and won't let your presence be minimized. Another effective tactic is maintaining a steady, composed tone. Instead of defending yourself with justifications, reaffirm your points with confidence. Adopting this stance shows that you are there to stand your ground subtly but effectively. A firm demeanor that radiates security builds a layer of respect, making it clear that you won't be easily dismissed.
Want to transform your life from the inside out? Check out our ebook with practical tools for real change. Go to the pinned comment, click the link, and see how to start your transformation today.
This kind of approach also portrays you as someone who values mutual respect over confrontation. After all, asserting respect is less about forcing others to respect you and more about showing that you won't be manipulated. And there are practical strategies that reinforce this stance daily, showing that you don't need to compromise your self-respect to be accepted. For many people, posture and first impressions create an impact that words can't match. When you present yourself confidently and establish firm eye contact, you're already creating an atmosphere of respect and authority. Think about the impact of standing up to greet someone instead of staying seated. This simple gesture shifts the other person's perception of you. It's not just about politeness but a way to show that you value the interaction and, in turn, yourself. This initial contact is crucial because, in a way, it sets the tone for how the relationship will develop. For instance, if someone approaches you and you respond with your head down or avoid their gaze, you're communicating submission. Now, by looking directly into their eyes, you send a clear message of equality. Plus, this stance prevents the other person from feeling they have an opening to disrespect or belittle you, establishing an invisible shield around your space. These small gestures of self-assurance create an effect that resonates. It's not about arrogance but about positioning yourself in a way that makes the other person understand you value yourself. This behavior not only builds immediate respect but creates a lasting signature that others associate with you. And when someone tries to interrupt or disrespect you, the way you respond can further reinforce this image of strength and confidence. When someone interrupts you in a conversation, your immediate response says a lot about the respect you expect from others. A simple yet powerful way to react is by fixing a steady gaze on the person who interrupted. This gesture, though subtle, shows that you noticed the lack of courtesy and didn't appreciate it. The key here is to stay calm. There's no need to make a scene. Just looking firmly and asking something like, "May I continue?" or "I was still speaking," can make the person think twice before interrupting again. This reaction isn't a direct confrontation but rather a way to demonstrate that you won't be easily sidelined. People who interrupt frequently do so because they feel they can. By subtly indicating that you're aware and don't accept the behavior, you project an image of someone who values their own space. In public settings, this steady gaze is even more powerful, as it places the interrupter in the spotlight. This strategy applies across various contexts, be it at work, with friends, or even in family gatherings. Politely yet assertively reclaiming your voice establishes respect and sets healthy boundaries. It's a gentle way of showing those around you what you consider acceptable. Naturally, this approach of self-respect will gradually lead to fewer interruptions and more admiration in conversations. When someone tries to ridicule you with a joke in public, staying calm can be your best response. Instead of reacting immediately, a powerful strategy is to look at the person calmly and ask them to repeat what they said. This small gesture takes away the joke's initial impact, forcing the person to repeat it, which often weakens the humor. By not reacting as expected, you show that the attempt to make fun of you didn't land. This kind of response unsettles those who try to get a laugh at your expense. When the person realizes that the joke lost its effect, they find themselves in an uncomfortable spot. Repeating a joke in front of a group rarely has the same punch as the first time, and often, the humor fades quickly. The goal here isn't to humiliate the person but to make it clear that you're not an easy target for careless humor. By handling the situation this way, you avoid feeling embarrassed and gain the respect of those around you. They see that you know how to hold your ground with intelligence, without lowering yourself to the level of provocation. This approach often makes others think twice before trying a similar tactic in the future. And mastering this skill prepares you for other types of provocations with the same calm and poise. When someone is trying to provoke you to make you lose your temper, one effective technique is to respond with a comment or question that's completely unrelated. Imagine that, in the middle of a provocation, you calmly look at the person and ask, "Do you know a good place for coffee around here?" Or comment, "It's quite warm today, don't you think?" This unexpected response throws the provocateur off balance, leaving them unsure of how to proceed. This kind of reply unsettles the provocateur without you having to show anger or frustration. Most people who provoke are looking for a direct emotional reaction, something that confirms they've affected you. But by diverting the subject in a light-hearted way, you communicate that the provocation meant nothing to you. It's a subtle way to show that your emotional control is stronger than any attempt at disrespect. In addition to disarming the provocateur, this approach also signals to those around you that you're not easily shaken. People respect those who can maintain composure and confidence in any situation. This kind of self-control becomes part of your reputation and acts as a natural defense against future attempts at provocation. And if someone persists, there are other strategies you can apply to handle them calmly. Sometimes, the best choice to preserve your self-respect is to remove yourself from environments where respect is lacking. It might seem extreme, but when disrespect is constant, leaving can be an act of self-worth. Whether at work, within social circles, or even at family gatherings, no one should feel obligated to tolerate disrespect. This choice to walk away shows that you value yourself enough to prefer absence over being in an environment that doesn't appreciate you. Taking this step sends a clear message to others: you won't compromise your self-esteem just to fit in. Imagine being in a group where negative comments are frequent. Choosing not to participate is a quiet act of self-respect. Over time, people begin to realize that, to have your company, they need to treat you with the respect you deserve. This shift in behavior often prompts others to reevaluate how they interact with you. Valuing yourself and your presence communicates that you have a standard for how you expect to be treated. This stance naturally attracts the right kind of people into your life, those who truly respect and appreciate others. In this way, you build relationships based on mutual respect, without compromising your dignity. This level of self-assurance transforms the atmosphere around you, creating a more positive and respectful environment. Choosing to be a valued presence, rather than merely tolerated, requires the ability to stand firm when necessary. Respect isn't something you demand directly, it's earned through actions and the way you carry yourself. When you realize that an environment can't offer you the respect you deserve, knowing when to walk away is a powerful display of inner strength. This act isn't a sign of weakness but rather a clear message that you won't accept being undervalued. This stance also prevents emotional strain and protects your self-esteem. Think of someone who insists on being part of a group that regularly disrespects them. Over time, it chips away at their confidence. Instead, by showing that you'll only stay where you're valued, you set a standard for respect. Gradually, others come to understand that having your company means respecting you. These subtle yet meaningful actions create an aura of respect that extends to all your relationships. When you decide to be part of environments where you're appreciated, others quickly realize they need to treat you respectfully to maintain your presence. This behavior not only earns admiration but also encourages others to reflect on their own actions. And this paves the way for a social life built on mutual respect and consideration. Have you imagined the impact these simple strategies could have on your life? Rather than letting disrespect define how you feel and act, you now have the tools to take control and command respect in any situation. The choice to refuse disrespect and stand your ground is transformative. And the best part? You don't need to raise your voice or confront anyone. The power lies in small actions and in the way you carry yourself. So, why not start applying these tips today? Remember, every action you take communicates the value you place on yourself. If you want others to respect that value, you need to be the first to show it. Have you been in a similar situation? What techniques have you used to face disrespect? Share your experience in the comments. Let's create a community where respect and support come first. And before you go, if you enjoyed these tips and want to keep learning about how to build healthy relationships and become a person others admire, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. Here, you'll find content that makes a difference. See you in the next video.